Hi and welcome to this week's energy forecast. I am Rachel Thompson-Phillips, the creator of the BU Oracle cards and also of the Sacred Oracle online program. This week's energy forecast is for August the 12th through to August the 18th. This week's overall theme is about soulful guidance. So let's go and explore what messages come through the cards. Monday and Tuesday is the card of empowerment. Wednesday through till Friday is the card of love, and Saturday and Sunday is the card of rise above. With Monday and Tuesday being the card of empowerment as we lead towards the end of the week on the 15th of August, so please just check your area for the correct date for your location, we have a full moon. So our soul at this point is bringing things to the surface to give you an indication of what is holding you back. So it may come in the form of thoughts, feelings, emotions, behaviors, actions, and these could be all of the things that your soul is bringing up to the surface for you to give you an indication to let you know that the only thing that is holding you back is you. And so these soulful guidance messages are coming up to say, hey, this is a limitation, this is a block, these are the things that are holding you back. And this brings up a real sense of vulnerability because there is now no blame, shame or guilt attached to anything other than taking on board the reality that it is your responsibility and that you have all of these gorgeous portals that the moon provides to be able to really harness them. So the full moon is bringing these things up to the surface so that it opens up this gorgeous portal on the 15th for you to make that commitment that you no longer want these things and to be able to redirect your focus on what are you going to do to rebuild the new. So therefore this vulnerability of the things that have been limiting us has an impact on us, as well as it deeply connects us with our dreams, our goals, the lives that we wish to have in this lifetime, our purpose, our plan. All of these things are being brought into our consciousness this week. So the guidance that's coming through from our soul is getting us to really connect to our truth of who we are. So this is not a week of judgment. That's the word that I want to use. It's not about judging these things when they come up or judging yourself for holding yourself back or any other reason, because remember, everything happens at that right divine timing, and this is the timing that your soul is saying you are now at a time in your life where you are really ready to commit to releasing and just letting them go. And this is where we get that ignition of passion for ourselves, the passion to understand that we take back that responsibility, that our destiny is only preconceived through our thoughts, our actions. And so you get to decide on what they want. They are not defined by things that have happened in the past. You get to decide in this very governing moment how you wish to choose to allow these thoughts, feelings and emotions to sit within your current reality. So this empowerment is about that vulnerability of feeling vulnerable, that there are certain things that you've allowed yourself to be held back by. And when we really connect into that soulful truth, we also start to see the strength in that vulnerability, because when we really deeply connect on a soulful level to that truth, there is a part of yourself that goes, okay, I understand what I have done, and now I'm ready to commit to doing something different. And this is the beautiful thing, that as we move towards the full moon and the next energy is from Wednesday through till Friday, it's about that self-love, going into and forgiving yourself, doing the actionable steps to bring yourself back into alignment with your dreams, your passions, your soulful truth. And again, taking on that responsibility of what am I going to do to nourish my soul now that I've had this awakening and this awareness of the things that have been holding me back. What are the things that I can do to nourish my soul and inspire myself? And I also choose to, with love, choose to release those things that I feel have been holding me back with the full moon. So the love card has a component of self-love, of forgiveness, because remember, how we move forward is through forgiving ourselves. And a lot of the times we are so easy to forgive other people for some incredibly horrendous things that they do to ourselves, yet we fail to remember to forgive ourselves. Remember, you are here on a soulful and spiritual journey, and part of that process is that human part of yourself, and that forgiveness is forgiving that human part of your soul, of yourself, because your soul knew that that was exactly what you needed to do, or what you needed to go through to experience to grow into the person that you are. But the human part of yourself can really hold on to certain things that have happened in your life. So this week is about validating that and giving yourself the forgiveness, which is one of the most greatest acts of self-love that you could ever give to yourself. And that doesn't come externally, that comes from going within. So I'm going to attach below a little forgiveness mantra for anyone that would love to be able to really repeat this over and over and go through the act of really nourishing yourself on a mental, emotional, and soulful and spiritual level, to forgive yourself on all of those layers of self. And then again, using the potent energy of the full moon to surrender all of those emotional states or thoughts that you had and expectations that you had of yourself. And we can surrender them with the full moon, which is on the 15th, which is Friday night. So we can have this wicked ceremonial time to really embrace the responsibility, the soulful truths, and that self-love component of forgiveness. And we can channel that all into doing a gorgeous burning ceremony on a full moon, which then brings us through to the weekend's energy, is that as we go about creating change, as we take on that responsibility, as we start making different choices and aligning ourselves back to the guidance of where our soul was directing us to at this point, there are going to come up points where we have resistance, because you've done certain things, thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions, and behaviors for such a long time, and now you're going to implement new ways of being and new things of doing this, that of course it's really important to understand that there's going to be a resistance barrier. And this is where we need to be able to rise above that. Just because you've done something for a long time doesn't mean that you are conditioned to do that for the rest of your life. So be okay when you hit that resistance barrier, because the number one thing that I share with my students inside my online program is that resistance is a gift. It gives you an indication of letting you know where there's something that's out of alignment. So when you find that you hit that resistance barrier, go inside yourself and ask yourself, is there resistance on an action point? Is there resistance on a behavior, a thought, a belief, an energetic frequency? Are you actually aligned energetically with the direction that you want to go in? So therefore we can really determine where that resistance is coming from, and just put our energy into building more energy and more momentum in that area, rather than thinking that the whole equation of what it's going to take for you to make that beautiful transformation and change that you're working on this week, that there's only just a little small area within that equation that needs tweaking or adjusting or bringing back into alignment, not the whole process. And this is where again we start to really harness how incredibly powerful we are when we can become very specific about where that resistance is coming from, and then take that gorgeous soulful guidance and go, beautiful, now what am I going to do to create change here? What is the transformation that needs to be brought to this process so that I can continue along this gorgeous soulful journey that I'm going on and creating the new, which deeply connects me back to my dreams, to the person that I'm growing into, the life that I am consciously creating right at this moment. So as you can see, this week is filled with so many beautiful, insightful moments. When we receive so much soulful guidance, there is an innate wisdom that we get to tap into, because when these things are usually brought into our consciousness, we've already had a little bit of awareness around them. We've already sort of thought, I wouldn't mind creating some change around this, and then just move on. This week we're really going to be encouraged to, rather than move on, Sit in that space. How does that feel for you? And focus on your outcome and the result that you want rather than on the change that needs to be done. Because when you realize just that some of the most important things are about what are you going to achieve when you create that change, that too also helps us harness that excitement and joy that we can really use at the time throughout this week to again encourage us to continue releasing, letting go, learning, and rediscovering new parts of ourselves. So I wish you all an incredibly amazing week. Much love, take care, and feel free to share.